DeFi has minted so many crypto millionaires before, and it's gonna mint so many more in the future. Why? Well, because DeFi is constantly evolving and there's new categories coming out all the time. For example, DeFi 2.0, which were projects like Olympus DAO, Tokemoc, or Convex Finance. If you got in early on those, it would have been easy 100x gains for you. And now there's a new niche that I recently discovered. It's called DeFi Options, and this niche has been drastically outperforming the rest of crypto in 2022. So before this opportunity escapes us, let's answer the question, is this niche worth it or not? Well, to best answer this question, let's do the following. We'll discuss what DeFi options are anyways. Next, we'll look at 4 specific projects in this niche. Then we'll evaluate my strongest bull case versus bear case for DeFi options. And finally, we'll have a good enough of a foundation to make our final verdict. Sounds good? Alright, well, options have long been a tool in the traditional finance world. They let you bet on price movements so you can get more gains with less capital. Or you can use them to hedge your positions. Options are actually what those Robinhood degenerates used to make millions of dollars. They bought short-term call options on like GameStop or AMC and turned 1,000 into 1,000,000 in a few weeks. But it's not only for degen gambling. A lot of institutional investors also use options to craft more sophisticated strategies. On the highest level, options give you the right to buy or sell an asset at a set price by a predetermined date. The right to buy an asset is called a call option, while the right to sell is a put option. Now, in terms of DeFi options, they are basically options offered on-chain by protocols who build and maintain markets for them. Putting them on the blockchain makes them more accessible, more composable, and it also enables some new strategies for existing users. Like, take liquidity providers. They have to deal with the infamous impermanent loss. But now, they can use options to hedge that risk. Also, if you look at everything we do in traditional finance, like lending, trading, insurance, etc., we've slowly but surely built equivalents in the DeFi world. So it makes a ton of sense to do the same for options. And that's exactly what teams have been doing. There's been a lot of building going on, culminating in several project launches in the past couple of years. And if we zoom out a bit, we'll see that they fall into 2 main categories, marketplaces and structured products. Marketplaces are protocols that let you create the actual options contract, and they facilitate the buying and selling of them too. They also manage the liquidity for each option, and they do that by sourcing it from a pool or by letting users deposit funds to write or sell options. Now, the second category, structured products, are protocols that sit on top of marketplaces, and they make it way easier for us to deal with options by abstracting away the most complex parts. It's kind of like how Yearn Finance makes it easy to yield farm without all the hassles and complexity. So for these structured products, you just deposit funds into various vaults, and they execute strategies for you, such as covered calls or cash secured puts. These vaults have actually been way more popular for DeFi users compared to the old way of buying and selling individual options at various strike prices. Now that you have a better view of the options landscape, let's zoom into 4 specific projects that have caught my eye. But first, a quick shout out to our video sponsors, Margex. They are a derivatives and leverage trading platform that could be perfect for you active traders who know what you're doing. You can go long or short on a handful of popular coins with up to 100x leverage. And they have this awesome feature called MP Shield that protects you from getting liquidated when there's high volatility. Like sometimes we see these crazy wicks on other exchanges that liquidate a ton of traders and makes everyone mad. But that doesn't happen on Margex because of their special system. The best part is, they don't require KYC, so the entire sign-up process is super quick and easy. It takes less than 5 minutes to get started, and you can deposit 11 different coins to fund your account. Finally, they have one of the most intuitive UIs in the whole space, and finance magnates even gave them a shout out for having the easiest to use platform of them all. So if you want to check them out, use my link below for a bonus as well. Alright, so my first DeFi options project to check out is Open. They were actually the first options protocol in all of DeFi, and they let you create, buy, and sell options on any ERC20 token out there. One super cool thing is that their options are represented by tokens, so you can trade your positions on any DEX. Version 1 of Open was called Convexity Protocol, and it basically laid the foundation for decentralized option. Version 2 was called Gamma Protocol, and it came with a lot of new features like auto-exercising, etc. And super recently, they launched version 3 called Squeeze. This is an advanced financial instrument that honestly goes way over my head, but essentially it's a token that tracks ETH squared instead of ETH, and it provides similar exposure as options, but without all the strike prices, expiration dates, etc. All I know is that DeFi experts are genuinely excited about Squeeze, and they say it's a true innovation that we haven't seen anywhere else. It really looks like Open's team is top notch, and they ship really fast. So I'm not surprised at all that they're #1 overall in total value locked among all DeFi Options projects. They actually don't have their own token yet, but it's rumored that if you use their products, you may be eligible for an airdrop in the future. Now my second project to check out is Ribbon Finance, and this time they do have a token. It's called RBN, and you can get it on a bunch of different exchanges like Uniswap and Coinbase. Ribbon is actually a structured products type of project, so they have vaults where you can deposit your money, and those vaults earn yield for you by running a quote, weekly automated options selling strategy. Specifically, their vaults sell covered calls and puts to generate yield. And in Q4 of 2021, they generated over $11 million in premiums using this approach. That's why it's no surprise that they hold the #2 spot in total value locked in this niche. Next up, number 3 is DopeX, which many consider to be the most ambitious options project out there. Their main offering is a structured product called Single Staking Options Vaults, where every month there is a period for depositing funds into vaults and selecting which strike prices you want. And then after that period, people can buy options at those various strike prices. So far, they only offer covered calls for a few coins, but their approach gives you much more control than other structured products. One super unique thing about them is they have a dual token model. They have DPX, which is for staking rewards, and RDPX, which is a rebate token for underwriters on their platform. The last thing I want to note here is that they're partnering with a lot of projects across the DeFi space, like they're creating vaults with Olympus DAO, and they're even dipping their toes into the infamous curve wars. So for those reasons, they have the largest market cap out of all DeFi options projects, even though their TVL is only number 13 overall. Last but not least, my fourth project worth checking out is Hedgic. They have an ultra simple user interface that makes it easy for anyone to use them. And they let you buy calls or puts for wrapped Bitcoin or Ether. You can also sell options by depositing funds in their pools, and you'll earn yield that way. One cool thing is they offer gas fee trading, which is much needed since they run on Ethereum. Currently, they rank number 10 overall in total value locked, and they have a pretty small market cap, like under $100 million. This is quite surprising, given that they've done almost $600 million in total volume, and their protocol has captured close to $12 million in revenue. If you're interested in their token, you can get it on Binance, KuCoin, and some other popular dexes as well. But don't go aping into these just yet, because we haven't even gotten to my most important part, my bull versus bear case for this niche. After all, we gotta evaluate both sides to see if it's worth our limited capital. Well, for the bull case, I think it's pretty easy to see the massive opportunity here. For the global options market, there were over 33 billion options contracts traded last year, and the gross market value of all those options was in the trillions of dollars. So this is a ginormous area in traditional finance, and makes a lot of sense to bring it over to crypto too. One reason is that institutional investors must have options in their toolbox in order to operate. So if we want more institutions to come join the party, then we gotta give them great options products to utilize. And so far, centralized exchanges have not succeeded in offering these. So maybe the DeFi world can step in to fill the void. Be aware that the TVL and market cap of these projects are still quite small, but the key is that they're growing rapidly. They've actually been growing during a weak market, while other DeFi niches have been shrinking. So that's a promising sign if I've ever seen one. On the other hand, maybe they have not taken off quite yet because of the unique challenges facing them. Like options have so many different parameters. You got the strike price, the expiration date, and each combination needs its own market. So how do you efficiently manage all of those and source liquidity for them as well? This is a huge challenge, and maybe it explains why centralized crypto options haven't taken off either. There's also several other wrinkles unique to options that need to be carefully managed by any platform or protocol in the space, like the fact that options expire, or that they confer different rights/obligations to the buyer or writer. These are already difficult to manage in the centralized space. So can you imagine having to implement these in a decentralized way as well? Another consideration is that writing/selling options is essentially the same as going short on volatility. And we all know how insanely volatile crypto is. So maybe that's why there's very little liquidity in existing products, because no one wants to be on the other side selling those options and betting against volatility. As you can see, there's a lot of unique hurdles that DeFi options projects face. But if you ask me, I have faith in them, because some of them have invented new approaches that don't even exist in the traditional finance space, like pools, vaults, etc. And I think they have a high chance of solving those issues that kept crypto options from succeeding before. But it definitely may take some time. So let's wait to see if my verdict is right, but it certainly looks like the market is starting to take notice. What do you think about DeFi options though? Are you gonna get in early or not? By the way, if you want to learn more about the nitty-gritty of crypto options, watch this video that I made before. Or watch this one where I evaluate another potential $1 million opportunity, but this time with DAOs. I'll see you next time and cheers.